All right, we are back in action on Facebook. We had some technical difficulties, which can feel like it happens every time, but I think we actually figured it out this time. So I also just went live on Instagram just in case like you guys happen to catch everything on Instagram, but we're gonna go over all the material again on Facebook. And the reason for that is I think this information is really helpful to all of you. So if you were watching before, I hope that you're able to tune in again now, because it seems like we cut out about 2 different times because of the connection. So we're back in action. All right, happy Thursday night. So we're going to be talking about face shapes and how to determine your face shape. Because knowing your face shape is actually extremely important when finding the perfect hat for you. But I also want to say that there's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not just about your face shape. You know, it's really important that you feel comfortable and confident, almost like the hat is a part of you. And, you know, other things like your wardrobe, what you like to wear, the color of your eyes, what you like to do on your downtime, your personality, all of those things are really important when finding the right hat for you, but we're just going to cover face shape. The face shape is also really helpful to know if you are like new to hats and you're searching for your first hat. Knowing your face shape is a really good place to start when you're trying out different hats. Okay, so we're going to go through 5 different face shapes tonight. Some may argue that there's even more than that, but I didn't want to get things too complicated for you guys, so we're just going to focus on 5. All right. Sorry, I was watching my friends and they were talking about the choppiness, and I'm like, I want to let her know that it's working now. Anyways, yeah, Arjun, I don't know. Well, you're not friends with Allie. I wanted to let her know that that's working now. But anyways, okay, we're going to cover 5 face shapes tonight, starting with the round face shape, which is actually the face shape that I have. But yes, so if you're looking in the mirror and you're like, is this the face shape that I have? The width and length of your face are about the same. You might have prominent and round cheeks, and you probably have a round jawline. Okay, so again, the length and the width of your face are about the same. You might have prominent and round cheeks, and you probably have a round jawline. So when thinking about the right hats for you, you really want to pick hats that have a higher crown. And because it's all about balance. You're trying to balance out the shape of your face, right? So when picking a higher crowned hat, and when I say crown, I mean like this part of the hat, pick a higher crowned hat because it lifts you up, it heightens your face, and it's a really good balance to the roundness of your face. Something else that's really important if you have a round shaped face is the pinch. It's really important to have a pinch on your hat, again, because it just balances out the roundness, right? So what you may want to avoid if you have a round shaped face are hats that have a round crown, whether the crown is round on the top or if the crown is round on the front, because that's really just emphasizing the roundness of your face. It's not really balancing it out. And so I think it's really exciting if you have a round shaped face, because I love higher crowned hats. Some people find them intimidating. Some people are like, oh my gosh, it's sitting so high. You know, sometimes you'll hear people say, this hat is sitting so high on my head. But if you have a round shaped face, it's perfect for you. So round shaped face, look for higher crown hats. Look for a pinch in the hat, like a deep or a tight pinch, because that's going to really help with or complement, not help, complement your round face. A wider brim is also nice too, like this one has a stiff brim hat. So the hats from our collection that are great for you are the Fin, which I'm wearing right now, and the Viv. Let me show you the Viv. So the Viv also has a high crown, so this is really great for you too, and it's got like a asymmetrical pinch. So the Viv and the Fin are great options for you if you have a round shaped face. This also goes for men and women. I want to make sure I say that. Okay, so that's the round shaped face. Now let's talk about the square shaped face. Okay, so this is the next one. So again, you may be looking at yourself in the mirror thinking, is this the kind of face shape that I have? And if you do, the width and length of your face are equal. Your forehead, cheekbones, and jawline might also be equally proportionate. And you probably have a prominent jawline. So again, your jawline, your cheekbones, and your forehead are all equally proportionate. So this shape is interesting because it's almost the opposite of a round shaped face. So the kinds of hats that you really want to look for are hats that are going to add roundness and softness to your look. So in our collection, two great hats for you would be our Arrow and our Joyce. So the Joyce is this cloche, this cloche hat. And again, you're looking for roundness and you're looking for softness. So the Joyce is great. And the Arrow is great too. As you can see, it's got a rounded crown, and so the roundness is really going to balance out the prominent jawline that you might have. So that's for the square shaped face. Another type of hat or hats, beanies and berets are also great if you have a square shaped face. And I'm just now realizing that I didn't mention with the round shaped face, ball caps. So I like to wear ball caps because they're easy when you're working out, but they actually, in my opinion, don't look great on me. And the reason for that is they actually cover up, you know, they come down over your forehead, and so they're actually emphasizing the roundness of your face. They're not that complementary to the roundness of your face. And so just a fun fact, which is also why adding softness and roundness complements a square shaped face, because you probably have a prominent jawline. Hopefully that makes sense to all of you. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is dun, 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 the oval shaped face. So for this one, you probably have a wider forehead than you do your chin. The jawline is a bit more rounded. The length of your face is greater than the width. And if you have this face shape, you're very lucky because this face shape actually looks great paired with a lot of different hats. So you can really experiment with different face shapes, or I'm sorry, experiment with different hat styles if you have an oval shaped face. So don't be afraid to try hat styles that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone, because more cases than not, it's going to look really great on you. So again, the oval shaped face, experiment with a lot of different gosh, I keep saying that, experiment with a lot of different hat styles, because they're gonna look great on you. Okay, next one is the heart shaped face. And this one's really interesting because this shape is very common. And you may be wondering, I don't really know what my face shape is. More cases than not, you probably have a heart-shaped face. So if you do, you probably have a broad-shaped forehead, wide cheekbones, and a pointier chin. And because you might have a wider forehead and a narrower chin, you really want to avoid wide brim hats. And the reason for that is, as you can see, it's kind of like an upside down triangle, the shape of your face. So if you wear a wider brim hat, it actually emphasizes and brings attention to your narrow chin or your narrow jawline, when you really want to be balancing it and complementing it. And so the hats that are really going to look good on you are medium-sized brimmed hats. So from our collection, what's perfect is the Frankie. So the Frankie is one of our medium-sized brims. And also, oh, that's not the right one. Where did I put it? and also the Chapman. The Chapman is also has a medium size brim and would be great if you have a heart-shaped face. Another great one to try from our collection is our cloche, the Joyce. And the reason for that is it does come down over your forehead, so it actually balances out the broadness of your forehead. So if you need another look at the heart-shaped face, here it is. And what looks great with this face shape is medium size brims. And from our collection, the Frankie, the Chapman, and the Joyce. Cool. All right, so last but not least is, can anyone guess? Does anyone know what it might be? Is the rectangle shaped face. So for this one, it is similar to a square shaped face, but your face is longer than it is wide, obviously, right? Because it's like a rectangle. So you want to be looking for hats with a wider brim and a shorter crown. And again, crown meaning this part of the hat. And you want to be looking for a shorter crown because you want it to balance the length of your face. And you want a wider brim, again, to balance the length of your face. So basically, you're looking for hats that create width rather than height, okay? This is the rectangle face, or shaped face again. And so from our collection, what will be perfect for you is, let's see, the Phoebe. Everyone knows our Phoebe. And the reason for this is the shorter crown, like I said. So this is one of the shorter crowns that we carry in our collection, and the wider brim. Okay, so the Phoebe is great if you have a rectangle shaped face. And then I'll also show you, this is the Phoebe in Panama straw, which is also great. So those are the 5 face shapes that I wanted to cover with you guys tonight. Does anyone have any questions? Let me just see if anyone has any.
I have a question.
Oh, we've got our June in the back. He's got a question. Yes.
Can you talk a bit about the effect of facial hair
on face shapes, if that has anything to do with it?
The choices of hats.
Okay, so facial hair, does that impact does that impact your face shape when you're thinking about finding the right hat? Actually, not really, unless you have a really long beard, a really bushy beard. Then you might want to think about that. But my question for those of you who might have a longer or a big beard would be, do you want to emphasize your beard? Because if you want to emphasize your beard, then you should go with a higher crowned hat, because it's going to just bring attention to your beard. Just like I was saying, if you have a rectangle shaped face and you want to balance that, you actually want to go with a shorter crown. But if you're really looking to emphasize your beard, go with a higher crown hat. Otherwise, facial hair doesn't really have anything, doesn't really impact it at all.
Nice. And
cool.
What about maybe other facial features, or like length of your neck, length of your forehead?
Yeah, so we're getting into all the details. So facial features, so the only facial features that are like the big players when you're thinking about your face shape and finding the right hat is your cheekbones, your jawline, and your forehead. So your nose really doesn't come into play, all of that. It's really just like the outline and the shape of your face is what you really want to pay attention to. The other thing that I will mention is how like the size of your head. I know that sounds funny, but if you wear like a size large hat or an extra large hat, you're probably gonna want to pick wider brims, because the wider brim is gonna balance out the size of your head. That sounds funny, but it's true. Or if you have a narrower face or a very small face, then you probably want to go with shorter brims. But other than that, really, it's just the shape of your face is a big factor. Anything else over there, Arjun?
Yeah, I love the bit about the pinch.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I don't like not very conscious of the importance of the pinch, but then when you were talking about the pinch earlier, it made a lot of sense, especially as someone who is new to wearing hats.
Yeah.
No one in my family wears hats.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit about that and tell us why knowing about the pinch is important?
Yeah. So for those of you who are just tuning in or haven't been with me from the start, so I was talking about a round shaped face and how the pinch of a hat's really important. And the reason for that is if you have a round shaped face and you have a rounded crown, whether that be in the front or the top, you're really, again, just emphasizing the roundness of your face when you want to be balancing the shape of your face. And so a pinch actually adds that dimensional aspect to a hat that really suits your round shaped face. So pinch is important. Like for people who, like I was saying earlier, people who have a square shaped face. Here, I'll pull it up again so you can see. Someone who has a square shaped face, having not as deep of a pinch, a more rounded crown is really going to suit a square shaped face because it balances it out perfectly. Okay, where should the hat, I have a question. Where should the hat sit? High on forehead or in relation to, in face shape. So where a hat should sit on your head, the right way. Again, it's all about like what you feel comfortable in and how you like to wear your hats. But technically the right way to wear a hat is it should be sitting above your ears. Like you should be able to like put your finger in between like the bottom of your hat or the bottom of the brim and the top of your ear. You should have space here. Some people love to pull their hats down over their head, over their ears, which is totally fine if that's where you feel most comfortable and you feel most confident. But technically the right way where your hat should sit is above your ear. And you should be able to put some fingers in between the tip of your ear and the bottom of your brim. So that was a great question. Well, I really appreciate everyone tuning in and bearing with being patient while we work through all of the technical difficulties. Seems like it happens every time, but we're just rolling with it, and I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions or you're still like, I'm kind of unsure what my face shape is, please send me a note on Facebook or Instagram. You can send me an email on the website because it is an important factor when finding the right hat for you. Hi, Allie. I'm glad you love your hat. But you guys all have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go make some dinner. Okay, bye.